You are T. Who are we? Bit frisky, bit brisky. Bit brisky and money. I ain't gonna lie, winter's here, people. Winter's here. How we doing, people? Let's see if people can come in, man. Big up. Okay. You don't even get to talk about titles at the moment. Okay. You don't even get to talk about titles at the moment. Yeah. We're not going to talk about titles for a long time. Very, very, very long time. We're not going to talk about titles either, my friend. We're not going to talk about titles for a very long time. This is the URT. You are the URT. We are the URT. Big up the URT in the house, people. How are we doing, people? How are we doing? Let me get these on. Right? Let me get these on. Arsenal bottled it. Bottled job FC. Newcastle did a job on them, mate. Newcastle IY. The Geordie Army done a job on the Gunners tonight. Job well done. Saliba. Zamiasi, where are you? Saliba. And the other Brazilian got absolutely bullied by Isaac tonight. It was about the Isaac show. He might not have scored the goals, but he showed them up. Big up to the people. Let's go, people. Let's go. We've got a jam-packed show for you tonight. Clubs in the mud, people. Clubs in the mud. Clubs in the mud. Clubs in the mud. Clubs in the effing mud. Spineos, no PRBS, Project 21. Project 21. Dutty Dave. Project 21. We've got the FA Cup preview. Leicester versus Manchester United on Wednesday. On Friday. We're previewing it tonight. It's a Wednesday. We're previewing it tonight. And I'll be at that game. I don't think I'll be going to any league games anytime soon. Big up man like Sean, you know. Sean in the house. Sure. What's going on in that? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm glad you made. How are you feeling? You had the cold and you were traveling.
No. I was gonna say, yeah, there's something going around in the US right now, like it's flu season or something. So every other person has like a cold or a flu. But yeah, I'm all good now, all better.
What's the weather like over there?
It's cold. It's been raining nonstop all week.
You're gonna get sick when it's raining. You're gonna get sick in it.
Yeah, it's flu season. But Arsenal did give me some joy, this afternoon. So there's still some happiness in this world.
How bad were they? They got absolutely bullied physically, mentally. They got bullied in every sense.
Yeah, what makes it sweeter is just how much noise they were making over the weekend, because they beat City. What does it profit a man to beat City 5-1 and to then come and lose, to Newcastle, home and away?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. It's been raining all weekend. I'm glad that it's raining over there because at least the fires, fingers crossed.
Oh yeah, no. I think we're through the worst of that.
That's great.
Yeah, we're through the worst of that.
That looked horrific, man. That looked horrific.
Now it's just hoping that all the people can, get their insurance, because that's what's next. Try and collect whatever you can from insurance, and we all know insurance doesn't like to pay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, United. I don't know if we spoke after the last game. I think we spoke briefly. After the game against Crystal Palace, where I was extremely disappointed with our manager.
We're in the mud, Sean. We're in the fucking mud. It's all downhill now. We're in the mud, bro.
But
they left him hanging. They bought him in, and they did not back him, and that is shambles. That is shambles. And tonight we find out that Scarnaccio was the reason why it broke down the contract. The deal between him and Napoli, because he asked for too much money, and Napoli were like, "What? Who? When? You're an upcoming young player. You know what I mean? You ain't big time yet, mate. You can't be demanding some of those wages." But it is what it is. But go ahead, Sean. I'm gonna mute.
Yeah, no. So I just disagree. I think with Ten Hag, there are many things going, many things happening at once. Ineos is making mistakes or have dropped the ball for sure, but I cannot separate that from I cannot separate the outcome, that we're seeing from Amorim's own choices, Amorim's own mistake. So I'm encouraging everybody to resist the tendency to place it all at one person's feet. What we're seeing right now is a sequence of bad decisions from Ineos to Amorim himself to the players. I don't think Amorim was under any illusions about the transfer potential of Man United, in January. I don't think he was. He had been pretty clear from the moment we signed him that he wasn't expecting that many signings in January. I think people can say that maybe they don't believe him or they don't think that's likely the case. But if we're to take the manager's word for it, he himself has said I wasn't expecting so many signings. I'm here to work with this squad that I have. I think what we're seeing right now is just simply a manager that is realizing that the league is a lot tougher than he thought. That's it. And he's making mistakes. So I don't get the sense, I don't share the sense that Ineos has betrayed Amorim or anything like that. I think he came into this job clear-eyed. The only thing that he was missing, himself, is that I just don't think he realized how tough this league was going to be. Because basically wherever he goes, whether it's Southampton or Bournemouth or Crystal Palace, every single team in the Premier League is probably better than the top Portuguese team. So the Premier League is a much tougher league to be, and Amorim is learning the hard way, those lessons. But I just don't get, yeah, I don't share the sense that he has been betrayed by Ineos or anything. I think he looks like somebody, and he sounded like somebody when he first took the job, who knew fully well what they were getting into. But right now it's just not going the way they thought it would. Because he himself also said that the players, have a lot less confidence than like he could not imagine just how low on confidence the dressing room was. So yeah, there are a lot of things that are happening. I think Ineos could have done better in January, but I understand. I totally understand the club's financial position and their thinking. When Liverpool were thinking of what manager to bring in, they decided against Amorim because they knew that if they brought in Amorim, they would have to upend their entire system, style of play, and go into the market, basically, right? And I think part of the reporting is that that's why we passed on Amorim in the summer as well. But now that we brought him in, everybody understands that we need to sign players to suit Amorim's system or to give him, exactly the players he needs. And these are going to be first team players, not just squad players. We need to sign starters in the first 11. So would you rather take a gamble on signing somebody in January or do your due diligence and wait till the summer? It makes complete sense for me for them to wait till the summer to do most of the signings. Where Amorim needs to earn his pay, that's my own opinion. Where he needs to earn his pay is he needs to do better with the squad that he has right now. I'm not saying win the league. I'm not saying qualify for Champions League even. I'm just saying don't lose 2-0 to Crystal Palace at home. That I don't think that should be too hard, too much to ask.
Yeah, I fundamentally disagree with some of the conclusions that you came up to. I think they said to him, "It's now or never," and the conversations that were had. None of the players who are being loaned out, none of them is obligation to buy. They said that, what did they say? They said something about something in order or something, the statement that Ineos made through um, Laurie Whitwell, their little mouthpieces in the Athletic, was clear to see. For me, they failed him and they failed him big time. It's the equivalent of where you invited me out to a boat and then the boat gets in trouble. You get on a little dinghy boat and you've got a life jacket and I'm drowning and you're just not even, you're ignoring me. That's what it is. It's shambles. Doku, who's 20 years old, coming from a league that is very suspect. I don't really rate that league anymore. I think that league is very slow in the way the football is. And I find it really difficult for players to adapt from that league to come into this league. And for only one signing and to let go of 2 players, especially in attacking options, it's shambles. And now if Ahmad was to get injured, Manchester United season is a wrap. We've got about 10 games left in the season, and I don't really see us finishing in the top half of the table. I wish that I do. I hate Ineos so much as I hate the Glazers. And I would take a relegation. I know that might come shock to you. I will take a relegation if to get rid of them both, because that would be a complete reset. And I know the fans would be absolutely be fuming. There'll be big protests. There'll be all sorts of things going on if me and Manchester United were to go down. So I'm like, I want to burn the house. That's what I want to do and start again. That's the difference. But Amarim, in terms of, he came out loads of different times. He gave all of them in a lot of the press conferences, a lot of the games after, a lot of the match reactions that he does after games when he gets interviewed. He's talking about player profiles and he's saying the profile doesn't fit. 100% for me. I saw it with my own eyes and I've been seeing it. I'm not seeing a win in the league for a long time. In terms of consecutive wins in the league, like 2 wins in a row for a long time at Old Trafford. So what the mistakes that he's making, the defensive players that he's playing, this man for man, when these players are not good enough to play man for man, it's completely just really shocking to me. Crystal Palace lined up in exactly the same formation as us, but they schooled us there and their coach schooled Amarin how to fucking play it. And he sat there and kept, after the little gimmick ran out with Kobe, 15 minutes up the pitch, 15 minutes it took. After that, he kept him there till about the 70th minute, which is shocking. At the end of the day, I did not want Amarin. I did not. I said, Premier League proven guys who've done it in the Premier League, who know the land, who know how the land is, where they're at, was Areola at Bournemouth and De Zerbi, who was at Brighton. I wanted those 2 guys because I felt with those 2 guys, with some of the players we've got, they can still instill a bit of footballing ability. And then hopefully we can then go and sign players to take us to that next step. But unfortunately, Manchester United, the PSR at the moment, I remember, I don't know if it was you, Sean, but a lot of people used to tell me, oh, the debt is fine. That happens in capitalism. That's part of it. To be in debt is good. And now we find out that PSR, the debt, the £100 million we pay into down paying the debt is, and that interest money, because it's not down paying the debt, it's the interest, right? The interest that we pay, 100 million interest we pay, is definitely having a very much crucial effect on PSR. If we didn't have to pay that, Manchester United would be able to spend money and go and get players that they need. So all of that for me means F all. And I want them out. I want them gone yesterday, last week, the week before that, the month before that, before they even set their eyes on this in this club. I said, get them effing out. So for me, they're not doing anything. And tonight, Sean, they're coming out with Dodgy Dave. I need you to go and look up Dodgy Dave, right? I need you to go and look up Dodgy Dave, right? Dodgy Dave is a disgrace cheat. What he did with the British cycling and the Tour de France was, everybody knows, he cheated with the inhalers. So he's come out tonight and said, Project 21. How fucking convenient is that? We get smashed by Crystal Palace at home. We are horrendously staying in the same place in the table. We win one game, then lose the other. And they come out with that shit. We don't sign anybody. But here comes two prolonged fronts of propaganda. Let me tell you what they are, Sean. You maybe have not seen them. One is about Project 21. Listen to me. Project 21. The next one is, Chido's not being seen with the did not play in the youth game. Didn't play. Chido Obi Martin didn't play. Woo! Fans
that sounds interesting
excited.
to me. That sounds exciting to me.
Let me say something to you, Sean. You throwing 8 youngsters in if you've got a structure within the team, like Van Gaal did. Van Gaal put a structure in place where players knew what they were doing. He wasn't demanding too much of them. He was just getting them to do the basic things and hold their positions. That's when you can bring kids in without destroying their confidence forever. Into this calamitous tactics that he's playing right now, Amorim's playing, you bring kids into this, they're going to lose confidence, right? You have to sort out the structure. What we've noticed, we've all noticed, when we play the bigger teams, structurally, Manchester United looks sound. When we play teams that Man United should be beating, structurally, we look like worse than fucking what we looked under Erik ten Hag. It's shocking. And then the two wing-backs he plays are two defensive players that offer fuck all in the fucking game. So he has to take a look in the mirror for all the mistakes he's making. But the fact that Ineos let him down, it's the biggest. Like, I give you that analogy again. It's like you invite me out to a boat and go, Nurdin, we're going to go down the Mediterranean. You know, we're going to go a bit of, island hopping, country hopping. And then the boat gets in trouble. You get on a dinghy, but you've got a lifeboat. And when I'm in the water drowning, you ignore me. That is what they've done to him. Nobody can defend him, but go ahead. Big up to Bumbaye who joined us. Big up to Jarvis who joined us.
Big up Bumbaye and Jarvis.
Big up.
Just to level set, right? My disagreement with Nuruddin, plain and simple, is I don't agree that Ineos have left him out to dry. I think they could have done better, but everything I heard from Amorim when he first took the job and in the beginning of his career at United sounded like somebody who knew exactly what he was getting into. But unfortunately, 2 or 3 months later down the line, he has realized that the league is a lot tougher than he would ever imagine. And that the players he's working with have a lot less confidence in themselves and in their abilities than he could ever imagine. And he himself is making mistakes. That's where we are right now. And as far as analogies go, a better analogy from my perspective would be if I told you that, hey, Nuruddin, come with me on this boat, but note that my boat is a dinghy, it's rickety, it's shaky. When we get to the next port, I would fix it. Only for you to come on the boat and now be asking me for air conditioner and pasta and champagne, halfway along the line. No, I told you exactly what you were getting into when you got on this boat. You knew what you were getting into when you got on this boat. But now,
I'm asking you to give me the life jacket so I don't drown. What are you talking about? I'm asking you to give me pasta and warm heating.
I told you that we don't have life jackets on this boat, and you agreed to jump in, right? And you told me that you know how to swim. Only for me to find out that you only know breaststroke. You don't know, and even the breaststroke that you don't know it too well. So you're drowning in the water, and you're now asking me to save you. So yeah, let's not get too caught up in the analogies. But bottom line, I think you can lay some blame on Ineos for not doing a lot. But I understand their thinking, and I think I agree with it. I think the signings we need to make are too important to be done in January. The signings we need are way too important to be done flimsily in January. I think we need time to sign some key positions. We need a striker. We need a midfielder. I think we need another centre back, midfielder or two, and another defender. And these are signings that I think we should only make in the summer after a long considered process. It is not too much to ask our manager right now not to lose 2-0 at home to Crystal Palace. I just don't accept that it's too much to ask. And that's where I want to start and finish. So, why I'm not really keen on the Ineos side of the conversation is because I think at home, within the locus of our control, there's a lot more that we can do. Such as, for example, don't lose 2-0 at home to Crystal Palace in such a pathetic way.
Bumbaye and welcome, Jarvis. How are we doing, Bumbaye?
Yeah, man, we're okay. Good evening, everybody. Today's video is sponsored by P&O Cruises.
Exactly, P&O Cruises. And other cruises are available. Big up, Jarvis. How you doing, Jarvis?
Yeah, I'm good. Good to be back. It's been a while since I've been on the channel. It's good to be back here with the guys.
Good to have you, Jav. Good to have you. You've been missed.
It's good. So I'm just want to say 46 likes, people, 105 people watching. Smash that like, get those likes up, and help the channel on the road to 13,000. So yeah, Project 21. It sounds like a bad movie in a way, and
it sounds like a horror movie. within a horror
Yeah.
movie, Jarvis. A horror
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
that's being filmed, but another horrible things are happening while that's being filmed. That is what it is. Dodgy Dave. We called it out from Dave Dot, the man who did the review. Absolute BS. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think it's anything new. Project 21. Yeah, we are working on winning our 21th title. That's obvious, stating the obvious, and it should always be the project winning the league title. And the next thing is bringing in a health nutritionist from Sky, that brought Sky to the top, and he has the master plan and helping Dodgy Dave in all of this. So, you know, I'm not surprised. We both we all knew it, that this was going to happen. That now we are seeing Dodgy Dave with his inhalers and all of that coming in with his experience from Sky. They want to do something special with these players, make them run better, be more healthy, fitter, happier, more productive, comfortable, not drinking too much, all of that. If you know Radiohead,
All sounds like good things.
yeah. So this is the plan, and yeah, I don't know. I think he has a lot to do, and maybe we should just work on changing the small things first before we starting on this huge project, because we should call it Project Death, and get rid of the death. That will be first priority, because as you know, Nordin said, we are paying 100 millions in I don't know how much are we paying each year in
100 in interest.
I will be very surprised if it's truly 100 million.
100 million
pounds
because we
in
own
interest
we
expense.
still we also maxed out one of the credit cards by signing players right, left, and center for these other managers who are not even of that same quality. Wow. Big up to Adewale for the super chat. Appreciate you, King, always, and love. These same players who were bought for Eric Ten Hag have lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace. It's now a different system. We're expecting win regardless if it's a home or away. It doesn't make sense. Ineos knew Amorim needed specific kind of players. Well, unless, you know what I mean, unless you're Sean and you're telling me, well, he knew what he was walking into. I didn't know what he was walking into. They said to him, now or never. They said to him, now or never. And they hang him out to dry.
So just some corrections, right? Because Man United is a publicly traded company with financials online. Annual interest expense is around $36 million. Nowhere close to 100 million. Because I was like, what kind of debt is that? That would be crazy.
Sean, we've lost you. We've lost you in the sea of debt. Where are you?
Sean, I'm not going to lie to you. Manchester United have been paying at least 100 million per season on all of the different debts that they have. They don't just have the debt for the debt that's been there for the past 19 years. Am I right? 2005.
Yeah, we were servicing a debt.
2005.
Very
yeah,
high
they came
rate.
in. It's 20 years, isn't it? It's 20 years of Glazer ownership. Yes, it's 20 years.
Yeah, 2005. That's right.
Yeah, it's 20 years. So for 20 years, they have been there, and they owned. I said to you, they've spent on everything. Ineos almost £1 billion in debt. Do you remember that figure? It was from Swiss Ramble. Do you remember, Jarvis? It was like 900 million, something like that. So I'm sorry, none of that date's been paid off. None of that's been paid off. The club is also making a loss, huge loss, in terms of what we spend. And it's come out that the PSR, now these new PSR laws, the debt that you're refinancing or the debt that you're paying, the interest, it is affecting you. And that's why they have to try to sell young players. Manchester United, if you know what, in debt every season, Jarvis and Bombaye and the people in the chat, Manchester United would at least have 50-60 million to spend on transfers. And that is the down payment on players, 10 million. a season each. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You don't give the whole money. You don't pay for the player. If you buy it for 60 million, you're not paying a 60. You give him 10 million per season. So they could buy 3 or 4 players every season if that debt wasn't there. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mumbai.
So this we're talking about Vision 21, Mission 21, and that's to win the 21st Premier League, right? Is that what? No, I'm asking. I don't know. Is it? Is that what this is?
Project 21.
Right.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Project
Well, I mean,
BS21.
that is what it is, right? I'm asking.
BS.
Is it?
Absolute BS. Somebody
is.
thought we've lost.
So
The window's closed. The fans are angry.
yeah.
What should
So
we do? Oh,
okay.
we're gonna win Project to win 2021.
So look,
Bullshit.
if to me, bro, I've told you this before, and I'll just do a disclaimer before I get into Project 21. Good evening, everybody, by the way. Some new people watching in as well. Big yourselves up. Thank you for tuning in. You're welcome to the URT family. You saw, when you asked me about Ineos, my rationale was, if we don't try this, then we're only going to have what we already know, which is dreadful. The Glazers, full stop. There's nothing's going to change. But you said something different, and I think you saw through the whole bullshit. You said this guy has kept them in power when their backs were against the wall, and he's become an honorary Glazer. Now I'm looking at this team. You're talking about the 21st Premier League trophy. That to me is it's not the time to sell people bullshit like that when we know the state of affairs in this club. That's nonsense. That's just, what are you doing? That's like saying to me, if we're going back to the P&O cruises, I'm going to buy a yacht, but I don't even know how to fish yet. That's how I feel about that. Don't talk to me about 21st. Talk to me about what's happening now. What's happening now is we're worse than we've ever been in our life. And let me just go back to the Crystal Palace. You, Jarvis, the lads, you guys called it perfectly right. I had another look at it. I was trying to be objective, but forget that shit. We were dreadful. You called me, rang me at 80 minutes. I didn't mince my words. I said, let's go. This is shit. I've never seen Man United this bad in my life, ever. I really haven't. It just feels the whole thing is falling apart. I look at the team. It's the new strategy is I saw the show you did, you guys, the new player, Dorgu. He's gonna rip 10 guys, score a goal. He's another young baby. He's coming from Lecce in Italy. He's gonna be getting put into a team that's a mess. If you want to promote the youth, I'm all for the youth. It can't get any worse than it is now. That's my rationale for it. That's why I'd say, you want to put Chido in, put him in. You want to put the guy, Heaven, I hope he knows he's arrived in hell. You want to put him in, you put him in. They ain't going to do, it can't get much worse, especially in the attacking front. But as you say, when you're putting these boys in, I'm going to have zero expectation of them, not only because they're young, but because they're coming into a disaster zone anyway. The players that have been there for a long time, that have had a few seasons under their belt in this team, are lost in this team. The team is a mess. The club is a mess. We're supposed to do what Rannick said, right? It's pretty simple, logical. He said it, he explained it, very simple. Everybody in the comments, everybody on earth can pretty much understand this. How do you want to play? Get the manager that gives you that football, and get players that fit that type of football. It's pretty simple. This team has been flailing since before, and like the gentleman said rightly, Adewale, this Palace have been clipping us for fun in the last few years. And every game that we go into with even Leicester I'm going into now, I'm thinking, you know, it'd be hard to fathom a loss. But if it comes, I'm not going to be surprised or shocked because we are so broken.
Yeah, but I mean, my issue with part of what you're saying, Bumai, and part of what Dewade was trying to say is my simple claim, and maybe I'm crazy. Like, is it too much to ask that we don't lose 2-0 at home to Crystal
I think
Palace?
it is at the moment, Sean. And I
Nah.
think when Amorim came in, bro, he came in, he looked at things, but now I feel that he's showcasing the reality to Jim Ratcliffe and the people that make the decisions, saying, "Look, I know you brought me in, and you brought me in because I play 3-5-2 this way. We spoke about this." And this is exactly why he keeps reiterating, I am not changing. Because if he changes, what he does there is he's now made a concession for Ineos to not have to get in players, although they can see the deficiencies. Sometimes I say something to you, Sean, okay, let's do this. And then the reality is a little bit different. Either you hold me to task and we both burn, we watch it go up in flames, although you know the reality is, okay, it's not quite going to work out. I need to do something to put this fire out. It's up to Ineos now. Are you
I
going to
mean,
get this guy some players? We need them. We need them.
so
If only, Sean, for squad numbers.
so again, this I think is another like core fundamental dispute, right? Because I want to disentangle the larger Ineos conversation from what we're talking about here. I think directly Amorim's comments about his own team being the worst team in Man United's history. I think
Yeah,
that was a mistake that affected the confidence of his players. That is on Amorim, right? I think it was a mistake to come into the squad starting by playing attacking players as wing backs, left
could
and
be,
right,
could be. I
and then
don't say no.
switching to playing both defenders on the flanks. That's a mistake. That's on Amorim, right? I think it's a
Yeah,
mistake to have taken Mazraoui out of his most comfortable position, right centre back, and moving to be a wing back where he has looked terrible since. That's on Amorim. The idea that that it's too much to ask that we don't lose at home to Crystal Palace. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable because that's the premise under which we sacked the previous manager and brought in this one. Now, I take what you're saying that this new system needs some time to adapt, and I'm fine with that, right? I just don't want to put us in a position where we're saying that now, right? After Ragnick's open heart surgery remarks, which we never did. But it looked clearly like the people behind the scenes were signing young players, were signing more technically astute players to suit a style of play that they were building in the back end. Now we're throwing all of that out of the window and we're bringing in a new manager, right? So I'm fully on board with giving him time, and I'm saying that I even understand why Ineos is willing to wait till the summer to do all the major signings because I think the signings for Amorim are too important to take a chance on doing them in January. Now, with regards to Chidi Obi Martin, I'm a romantic when it comes to football, right? And for me, that's a key part of the legacy as being a United fan. I don't think there's any rule around when a young player can join a squad or not. As far as I'm concerned, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and you're ready. So I'm a believer in the miracle and the magic of football. And for me, there's no rule, there's no hard and fast rule around when Obi Martin can join. If Amorim believes he's ready, I would love nothing more than to see him play because in the bare minimum, he can't be worse than Hoyland or Xerxes. He just can't be worse than Hoyland or Xerxes. So the
yeah.
worst thing that can happen to him is that his
Sean,
confidence is greatly affected,
I
right,
think, bro,
by the outcome.
yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, what the hell do we have to lose at this point? Even if you bring him on to test him for half an hour or a half, maybe we find another Rashford moment. I don't know, but yeah, it could be um, that we're going to do all our business in the summer. It is notoriously difficult, January. I get that. Um, that is
Bumbaye, can I just stop you there?
yeah, man.
Manchester signed 4 players. Is it difficult for them?
No, it's not
No,
difficult, but we're not Man City.
yeah,
No, I'm
it's
just
not.
asking the question.
No,
Why
bro.
is it difficult? Why is it difficult for Manchester United? Because they're not organized. Manchester drop out of the top 4, and they
What I'd
act.
say is, bro. What I'd
Because
say
we're a
to you
different
is,
club.
what I'd say to you and
Nothing to do
Sean
with
is,
that.
there's
If you're
a
a big club,
midpoint,
you act like a fucking big club. It's
bro. Look,
simple.
if these guys go out in the summer, yeah, and we see a good transfer window where they have really done what they should have done, then that's cool. Maybe they are waiting. You've seen, I know what you're saying about City, Dino.
Big
Other
up
people
Susie, by the way.
did
Big up
transfers.
Miasi for the sticker.
But likewise, there's teams that thought, nah, you know what, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for Van Dijk, or I'm gonna wait for the right player to the summer. I'm not gonna throw the money away, because money as well is not growing on trees for us at the minute. So I guess we will have to wait on that one. I think that's fair. But right now, with Ineos, man, there's a lot of things about this that are disagreeable. The thing with the Dan Ashworth, I mean, that was crazy. Uh, the forcing the hand of Ruben Amorim because they made a bad decision that they're going to have to eat, which is they kept Eric. I mean, you do empathize with the fact that they kept Eric. Jarvis and I, we said, let's keep him. We wanted to give him a go. We gave him 17 games. It still looked like shit. So I can't now, chew their heads off for that. You were right. You can. You 100% can, bro. You said, let's bail. But the FA Cup had a lot to do with that. Now they brought this guy in the mid-season. So the way that they've moved is definitely, you can scrutinize it and argue about it. But then I can't be a hypocrite and say, because I said, let's keep Eric and keep going with him. We need signings big time. But what I'd like to see in terms of signings is a little bit of like good top quality experience if we can get it. Because we've just signed another young kid and it's a team full of young kids. They have no pedigree. We're putting them together with a bit of experience. I mean, you take Bruno out the team. There's not much there, or Maguire. Everybody's either dead young, new to the league. Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult the way that we're going about our business to see any short-term gains. But I know Amarim will not change. If he changes, he effectively forfeits his leverage over Ineos to say, if you want me, this is what I do and this is what we agreed I'm going to do. I'm struggling to do it now. And I think with Amarim, there are going to be mistakes because he's trying to find various solutions to fix a lot of problems within the team. The balance between defense and attack is very, very off. That's why we've seen players deployed in 2, 3 different positions. Even me, I'm not quite sure of our best team. Mazraoui might be really good on the right, but Delos's dreadful on the left. So maybe you switch them. Maybe we try Ahmad and Garnacho as the wing backs. Maybe they're not good defensively. We still need time to teach them. It's safer to go with the defensive ones, but they don't know how to attack the space. So this is why there's a lot of tinkering in this team going on. He puts Kobe Mainu in. I think it was to try and get a bit more of a foothold against Palace, which we had in part. As soon as he brought on the other boys, Palace started to break out, really get at us as well. So he is trying to find solutions. He's doing certain things which you might think, yeah, it's okay. It's nowhere near even worth pointing out though, because right now he's struggling to find the solutions, and it's evident in the results and the performances against the worst teams. And I think Leicester, and this is why, Sean, I'm not saying it's acceptable, bro. I'm not. And I'm not making a pretext for a loss against Leicester, but I am seriously telling you, this is the worst team I've ever seen in terms of the quality of the players, the experience of the players, the way the team has been put together. There's no
I just
integration.
disagree.
There's no integration. Sean, before you watch us, all of a sudden, like, oh, who's this new player? We've not heard of him. Some guy comes in or a couple of youngsters come in. It's organic. We start to see a transition in the team, and all of a sudden, wow, we've built a new team. But right now, it's just players are
No,
coming in,
I
and
Buma,
I'm lost with it.
I couldn't disagree more, because if you recall the way we got here, how did we get here? Ten Hag took over from somebody who said we needed an open heart surgery, performed well in his first season. Second season, tried to make some drastic changes to the tactics, brought in a keeper we can all agree is in the mode of the new era, good on their feet keepers. Right? Brought in Mason Mount, who is probably the only person that everyone agrees was a waste of pay. But we needed a substitute left back for Luke Shaw. We needed Malacia. Varane was a good servant for us in the time that he played. Casemiro was a good servant for us for that 1 year, right? And then in Ten Hag's third season, the signings that he made were supposed to strengthen the squad in some specific areas. We brought in Delete, we brought in Mazraoui, two technically gifted players. And so where are these pipes or shite players that we're talking about here that are in our team that necessitates losing 2-0
don't
at
forget,
home to Crystal Palace?
I quantified the team has problems because of a couple of things. One, these players are new to the league. Two, they're coming into a system that is different. And let's say you're playing as Mazraoui. You have to have players around you that also know how to do their jobs. Otherwise, it's going to affect you. And three, man, it's very, very young, this team. There's so much youth in it. So there's no continuity from one manager to the next. And the new profile of player, I think, is, from what I've seen, if you look at the ages of even the Martinez when he came in, and De Ligt is 24, Yoro, Rasmus, Xerxes, Garnacho come into the fore. It's let's sign young players with potential. We can pay them, not very massive money, and hopefully either they'll improve, we can sell them on, they've got mileage in them, or hopefully we can develop them and they'll be part of a really good team. All these problems are what this team is made of. And like I say, man, you take out Bruno and Maguire, I mean, what you're really left with in terms of some sort of leadership, direction. These are the guys that are well proven in Premier League. Everybody else in the team, bro, is just young.
But again,
Was not
these
played
are
there
kind of
before. You know what I mean?
these are kind of like arbitrary rules, right? And I'm not saying you're wrong, but one man's goose is another man's gander, right? Some players come into the Premier League from a different league and shine immediately. Whereas in this case, you're diminishing Delite's experience or Mazraoui's experience because they haven't played in the Premier League. As far as I'm concerned, these are quality players that are much better than losing 2-0 at home to Crystal Palace in the way we did. That for me is the starting point. We're better than what we saw.
But it's a team game, bro. It's a team game. And these guys are not top quality players. Mazraoui is 15 million, bro. You don't get top quality players for that. De Ligt is a guy who was sold to Juventus. He didn't do well at Juventus. He went to Bayern. They're not clamoring to keep him. Who else came in for him? I remember we did the show on De Ligt, Sean. I'm not sure if you were on it. And we were discussing 40 million, 50 million. And we thought, you know what, 40 million, we'll take a punt on him. We'll take a punt. It's worth a go.
I mean,
There is some pedigree there.
what are you implying?
We've not bought a great player.
Just so that we're clear,
we're
you
not
implying
buying
that
great
Crystal
players
Palace
anymore.
has a better squad than us? That the team Crystal Palace put out this weekend is better than ours? Just so we bring it down to the most common understanding.
Well, I'll quantify it in two ways. The fact that they have players that know what they're doing within a formation, an idea of play, makes them better than us as a team. And I think you could argue for quite a few of their players to get into our team.
Yeah,
we could go through the players if you want.
1 second, guys. 1 second. I just want to reply. Susie, unfortunately, if Manchester United were like a box of chocolates, they'll be more fucking exciting.
Get Forrest Gump in, man.
They'll be more exciting. Man United were like, you never know what you're going to get. I know what I'm getting for the past 12 years. It's just a bag of shite. That's what I've got.
No, honestly, you don't actually know what you're gonna get from Man United.
But that's a different thing entirely from seeing Crystal Palace put out a better team than we did. Like, that's just, for me, I can't accept that, and it sounds like an after the fact rationalization because people are trying to square a circle, right? And the rough edges there that I'm missing is a failure to reckon with the fact that Amorim is making some very critical mistakes. And because people don't want to reckon with that fact, they're trying to square a circle, as I'm saying, now implying retroactively implying that Delete, Mazraoui, and our entire squad is so bad, right? Basically, that it's a given that we're going to lose 2-0 to Crystal Palace at home.
Bro, no, look. it's not. Observe the nuances of what makes up the context of this thing called Man United. The nuances are that, one, this is a whole new experiment with the manager. Playing three at the back is not something that's done in prevalence in the Premier League, really. That's one. Got a very young team, very inexperienced team, and you've got lots of players that haven't been in the Premier League before. And a manager that's not been in the Premier League before, we don't absolve Ruben Amorim. You know, there are mistakes being made. He's trying to find solutions. He's not doing it successfully all the time. But I can't get away from the fact that the quality of the team, the quality of the individual players is not what you associate with top four, top six. I mean, we could, Brighton, man, if we compared our team to Brighton.
Stay there, Bombay, stay there. I want to just ask Jarvis this. Jarvis, all due respect, though, some of the players are crap, but you can coach some of the players into a way of a structural way of playing for them to get at least draws, to pick up the odd point and not to get beaten.
But you're asking him to change.
We play with five at the fucking back.
Mm.
Every time he plays, there's a crazy stat. Let me just show you this crazy stat. Really crazy stat, this.
While you're getting that stat, I mean, I don't know if I asked Jarvis about Diogo Dalot, his favorite player.
No. Ask Jarvis about the main question.
Yeah, I mean, he'll answer in a second. Do you see him as somebody that you can get to grips with what we're trying to do?
No, I'm not a big fan of the Diogo Dalot. I think he's very limited. He's rash. He's not smart enough. He doesn't know what to do when he's attacking, especially. And as I said, we need wing backs. And being a wing back, it's about, you have to be 50-50. You have to be 50% winger, 50% fullback. But the Diogo Dalot, he's 90% fullback, 10% winger. So when we go into attack, he's useless, and that's just the way it is. So he's not the right type. I'm not particularly blaming Dalot. He is what he is. He has his limitations, and we knew that. And we have been playing without a left back now since almost a season and a half. And Ineos coming in and talking about Project 21 and all these projects, Project 1 and Project 28 and 150 years and whatever. They have so many projects, but they can't fix the blatant glaring the obvious problems, like a left back. Get us a left back, right? Left winger. Get us a striker. We need someone who can come in and score goals. Stop with all these projects. Act like a football club and behave like a football club. And now they are talking about this professor of exercise and metabolism. So it's about nutrition to optimize performance from this James Morton, professor of something, Liverpool, and it's a good thought, but for me, I think it's like a gang of people who's best in class doing the wrong decisions all the time. Ineos has been in this club now for over a year, and the progress hasn't been much. They struggled sacking Ten Hag. They spent a lot of money this last summer buying Ten Hag players. They sacked him and brought in a manager who played a completely different style, and we don't have players suited for it. So basically, they're just throwing the rest of the season. And
No, but Jarvis, the point blank question still remains: is the team as bad as the performance we saw this weekend against Crystal Palace? I mean, is that what we should just sit back and expect, because that's just how the team is right now?
Yeah, but I don't know what you mean by saying we are that bad. What do you mean?
Yeah. No,
because
the
quality of the players, yes, it's terrible. But I said the same under Ten Hag. I tried to make it as the reason why Ten Hag didn't succeed. But everybody was sure it was Ten Hag's fault. I'm not doing a revision of Ten Hag's era, because he made a lot of mistakes. But I think at the end we should have just kept him at least to the end of the season just to see how it goes, because I think when you get a lot of new players in and you know the quality of these players, Ten Hag couldn't do more magic than he already did. He won two cups and that's it. But yeah,
but like just to be, because my feeling or sense right now is that the new narrative settling within and among United fans is that our squad is worse than Crystal Palace's squad, right? And I just don't see how that's the case. Like I don't agree with that. I think as you were alluding to, right, Jarvis and Bumaye, a similar situation happened to Ten Hag where he needed better players to do more, basically. But we also could tell quite self-evidently that he had lost the faith and confidence of the players. That has nothing to do with quality anymore. That's now a question of management, specifically as you, the manager, being able to motivate your players to run the extra mile for you, to follow the instructions that you're giving them. That has less to do with quality and more to do with you as a manager. That's what I'm alluding
Sean,
to.
let me try. I think I can reconcile things a little bit, guys. Give me just a second. I think, Sean, let's say we put the quality aside. There is the very real possibility that seems to be they're the wrong players to fit into what he wants, and this goes back to, you know, we need the right players to play the way that the manager we've brought in plays. If they're the wrong players, the reconciliation might be you need to change the way that you're playing and play to the strengths of the players that you have. There is a danger if that, for example, works, that Ineos take their foot or let off the hook a little bit, because what we want is an investment into the team. We understand that we're going to play 3-4-3, and we understand that it looks like shit because I think we all can see we're struggling in the wide areas. The strikers that we've bought in, it's not fair to ask them. I think we all agree, young guys to lead the line, especially in a team with so much tender years around the striker. So if he changes and the results become favourable, my fear is that Ineos might think, well, we're off the hook. It's him. It shifts to him. Why didn't you do this before? And we had this with Ten Hag when we'd play in the Cups, we'd get a result. But in his mind, he kept saying, yeah, but this is not what I want to do. This isn't the final picture. We can only do this so much in a one-off game. But now you guys might think that these players are good enough. It's just the way that I'm deploying them. But this has not got the mileage of what I really want to do with this club, what I really want to play. So I think that's the balance that I'm a little bit afraid of. He changes to the strengths of the players. Ineos take the foot off the gas. We home in a bit more on him. And I think that's perhaps why.
No, so let me grant you, Bumaye.
Okay.
I don't want him to change. I don't want Amorim to change.
No, nobody
Amorim,
wants to change the
don't
formation.
change. Yeah, don't change the formation.
He needs to play attacking players out wide, because look at this: 354 minutes.
But
276 minutes, 9 goals, 0 goals.
That's an example of the kind of change
Diego
I'm talking about.
And Masraoui are not fucking win backs. They're not win backs. And he keeps doing it. He keeps persisting with Diego Dalot.
That's not about quality. That's a manager's choice producing bad results.
But a question, just a question about that. It would be interesting to see the statistics of goals conceded with Ahmad and Anthony in those positions and goals conceded with Dalot and Mazraoui playing those positions. I understand we score more, but what about conceding goals?
Touché, that's fair.
We get beat with those two guys as well. We
I'm
don't
not
score
talking
enough,
about.
and we still get beat.
I know.
We still get beat with these two guys. What are you on about? We've not won. What's the last time we won a consecutive home games at Old Trafford? Do you remember, Bombaye? I don't bloody remember.
No, Habibi, I don't remember.
What are you talking about?
But it's important to understand when you deploy a team.
We've seen it. We've seen it with our own eyes. When Anthony's on the pitch, Diego and Amad Diallo are on the pitch together. We score goals. They create stuff. Because Anthony's one of those players that can hold the ball. I'm not a big fan. I think it's one of the worst signings that Manchester United have ever made. I'm not going to die on that hill. But I'm just saying to you, when he's been on the pitch on the Amorim, Ruben Amorim, he has produced and he looks better than Masraoui and fucking Diego Dalot. My
I know.
left toe looks better than Diego Dalot, and it's not even on a football pitch.
Bro, I understand that. Do you know when you go into these games, yeah, that statistic there makes a very strong, obvious case to play attacking guys wide. When he was asked about
How do
this
you know it's
early,
Mumbai? Can I ask you a question? Let me
Yeah,
ask you
bro.
guys all into
Sure.
the question. Do you understand the way that we set up so differently when it comes to the bigger teams, like the Liverpool? That Liverpool, for me, in my lifetime, that was the best performance of a Manchester United team. In my lifetime.
what, with Ten
Because
Hag?
with them.
With
You're taking the
Rubes?
fucking piss. With
I
Ruben
thought
Amorim.
you right.
But we
Okay,
should have
fine.
won. We should,
Yeah.
was 2-2. We should have won that game. It's one
Yeah.
of the best performances against a very technical, highly motivated team. But then when we come to the other teams, he starts. I'm sorry, Jarvis. I'm not hammering out, but he needs to be criticized, and we can't close our eyes to the bullshit mistakes he's making on the football pitch by fucking sticking with the likes of fucking Diego Dalot and telling Bruno to do whatever the fuck he wants, like Ten Hag was doing.
Yeah, for me, that's not a quality problem, right? So I accept all the nuances you're introducing, Dumaye and Jarvis. So you would say one squad is good enough to finish top 4, another squad good enough for top 8, another squad good enough for 12, another squad for 16th, and another squad will get you relegation. Where does the United squad fall in you guys' mind? Because as far as I'm concerned, we're good enough to be a top 10 team in the Premier League. And I feel like anybody who tells me otherwise is trying to gaslight me into accepting
I'm not going to try to gaslight
what
you,
I'm
but
seeing
all I'm
from
saying, Sean,
Amorim.
all I'm saying to you is that with Ten Hag, we did a lot of stick-up jobs. Do you know what a stick-up job is? When you go to a bank and go, right, give me all your money. We did that. With Ten Hag, we finished 8th. We did that about 5 games. How many games have we watched, Jarvis, Mumbai, Sean? And we said, oh my God, we did not deserve to win that game. Somehow we scored and we held out, we defended and won. How many games did we find out? This
Regular.
form is continuation because it's the same players. I understand that on the whole. Because one game they turn up, they're up for it, motivated against the bigger games. Against the small teams, Old Trafford is nervous. They get nervous, Jarvis. We get nervous. Mumbai has been there. It's this horrible atmosphere. But it's not unacceptable for me that Manchester United, for all the money we spent on these players, we cannot win 2 consecutive league games in the Premier League.
No.
It's unbelievable.
A lot of these players have failed. A lot, you look at Anthony, man, that was a bad one.
No, Jarvis, can you separate? I'm going to ask you a question. Can you separate the two? Can you criticize the mistakes that Amorim is making and without being Amorim? I'm not saying, because the guys who bought him have not backed him. They bought him a 20-year-old from Lecce who's been playing professional football for a year and a half.
Bro, where does the bulk of the blame, where does the root of the blame lie in this problem?
The fucking Ineos.
Ineos, fine.
Are you taking the Mumbai?
No, that's fine. But Amorim is not immune from criticism. I mean,
No,
yeah.
He's not. But Bombay, Stu and I sit every game after we do a thorough analytic, tactical match reaction all the time, and we break down all the finer details of the game, and there's a lot of things I always talk about. We are being disjointed because the wingbacks hesitate to attack, and we don't attack how Amorim wants to play. We did the breakdown of Amorim's system when he played with his Sporting. Jokenes always willing to run the diagonals, attacking zone 16 and 18. That's the corner flag area of the pitch. So we have
stretching the play.
Stretching the play.
They always taking defenders with you to the corner and then overloading on the other side.
Yes.
Getting the ball into the box.
Yeah, but it wasn't always about playing Jokenes, but just to stretch the attack.
Yeah.
And bringing space for the midfielders, the wingbacks to drive with the ball forward. So there's so many things that's disjointed with its team. And when you
can I ask you a question? So why does he persist with Masraoui and Diego Dalot, knowing that they offer fuck all, and them coming inside does fuck all for us?
Well, I think it's the lack of options. That's one. I think that's the biggest thing.
We don't was having an impact when Diego Dalot go when Amad Diallo goes left right wing back. He has an effect because that's where the space is.
But I've seen Amorim trying to do something to counter this, because when he plays Masraoui on the right wing back, he has Ahmad in the 10, and Masraoui in Wurt, and Ahmad goes out wide. So in a way they shift position. So that
That
way,
reminded me a lot of Ten Hag. That's having your wing backs invert and pushing the number 10s wide.
yes, but it's been happening under Amorim. And the other thing is actually when Dalot is on the left wing back, he uses Masraoui from the wide left centre back to drive with the ball forward, and just for the Dalot to being a decoy, same as under Ten Hag. Dalot was always the decoy. He didn't do anything. It was just a decoy.
Yeah,
So,
he contributes absolutely
But
nothing.
he's awful. But
again,
he's
you see
awful,
two
Jarvis.
different managers with completely different styles, I would say,
Jarvis, your son's better than
doing the
Diego
same
Dalot.
things.
Jarvis, your son has got more football intelligence than Diego Dalot. I swear to God. I bet if I came to watch your son's team, I bet you your son will not be doing what Diego Dalot is doing. But why does he keep persisting with him, Jarvis? I'm sorry to say, you can't just tell me it's because no options. No,
It's the Mazraoui one that is the most.
Doing.
The Mazraoui one is the biggest abomination. Because with
Mazraoui's
Dalot, I
probably
can even
his perfect
understand.
position. Mazraoui's perfect position is right-sided centre half.
Yeah. But I sorry, Sean. I just want to say, but when we had the Ten Hag in and out discussion, and we wanted a new manager, I said,
I never
don't want a
wanted
new
this guy, Jarvis. I never
Yeah.
wanted this guy. I said,
No,
give me
but
Areola
I'm
or
just
De
saying,
Zerbi.
I'm just saying, I don't want a new manager mid-season, because then you have a new assessment period, and this is what we're seeing. We are frustrated because Amorim needs to see for himself, can he make Dalot and Mazraoui work in the wing backs? Okay, I think the assessment period is at the end, and I think he will do something. He bought in a new, we have bought in this Drogo guy, and we have seen Ten Hag using Mazraoui more in the wide right centre back position lately. So I think he's starting to understand, but this is what we get bringing a manager in mid-season. We just have to suffer the assessment period.
When I said give it to Rude, keep the coaching staff, and let's see what we do till the end of the season, and then bring in a new manager, give him a pre-season, give him new players, and then he can try to implement his system.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, right, Jarvis?
Let me just get the super chat. 1 second, sorry. Let me just get the super chat. Big up to Adewale. Adewale to Thea. A United team have taken 312 shots on goal. The two players with the lowest conversion rates on the team have taken the most shots. Bruno, 65 shots, scoring 2 goals. Garnacho, 48, scoring 3. These guys are killing us. Now, it's a fact. I mean, the biggest thing for me, I'm not going to lie to you, Jarvis, I sat there at half-time, and in my head I was thinking, take Diego Dalot off because he's playing against us. He's fucking playing against us. Take him off the pitch. Put Garnacho, because Garnacho's naturally wide. Garnacho never picks up the ball in near the halfway line, turns and goes direct centrally. He always has to go out wide. So it's like, turn Garnacho, get to go to Garnacho, right? Bring Zersky on, right? Drop Kobe to try to overload them in midfield, right? Take Diego Dalot up, drop Garnacho to left wing back, and because the ball can be outlet anyway, so he can go out wide and keep holding the position. But he didn't change it till the 70th fucking minute, Jarvis. The gimmick ended after 15 minutes. I'm sorry, Jarvis. It's me, you. I mean, how many coaching patches do you have, the Norwegian equivalent to the FA? I've got 2, Jarvis. I can see it. I'm at the fucking stadium and I can see what's happening. Why can he not see it? It's the same thing with Ten Hag. Why have these managers gone fucking blind? What is going on?
I only have one coaching bag, and I need that coaching bag for coaching kids. So it's pure basic. But I just want to say, when it comes to the wing backs, if you want to go to the Crystal Palace game specifically, we saw this. I will bring up the tactical board, and we saw this happen because Ahmad always want to drift outside, and the same with Garnacho, as you say. So I think the plan was, when Mainu dropped down, the plan from Amorim was Dalot and Mazraoui to be in this area, and we could see them coming in, but they came in late all the time.
Late
because it's not in their
it's not their natural instinct.
Yes, it's not their natural instinct to move in these areas. But when I looked at the game, I watched it back. You could see both Dalot and Mazraoui in this area. a lot of the time together. But they're not doing anything. They're not a threat. They're not sniffing out the danger. If the ball comes in quick from the side, they are not there because they don't understand to move like a striker. They're not poachers in a way. So I think this is just Amorim. He needs to try out different stuff, and then the assessment period is what it is. But yeah.
Well, that's where the dispute is, right? So let's say we expect some pain. Fully, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you. I expect some pain. The question is, how much pain is acceptable? And as a separate but related question, how much pain is reasonable, right? Because at some points, it could be that this is somebody that is just out of his depth, right? That's the not acceptable amount of pain. So I'm completely with you, and I think everybody agrees that like we all expected an adjustment period, right? And I'm famous for backing the manager even when it seemed unreasonable. So I'll back Amorim as long as he remains the United manager. But I just need us to be, one, consistent, and two, open to the possibility that despite our desire to focus on either our specific agenda, like Adewale, who's bringing up Bruno and Garnacho, or whether your agenda is Ineos specifically. I think that there are some gains to be gotten from the locus of control. So in the dressing room, in the manager, on the training ground, there are some more gains that we can get from this team before we start going to Ineos or whatever. So I don't think Amorim has maximized his potential and the potential of the squad that he has with him right now. And that's my biggest issue.
Yeah, but the thing is, we want to see a style of play. We want to see a style of play. I don't care about results this season. We all said when Amorim came in, we will give him a free pass. Nordin, you said it yourself. You want to see a style of play.
But Jarvis, I also said, if you can show me something, I'm willing to give him the benefit, the performance. I said,
but he showed us something. We beat, as you said, Manchester City, Liverpool. We have had our moments.
He showed me something against Liverpool. He showed me a fight and a low block organization against Arsenal when we went down to 10 men, and the spirit and the bringing on the right players at the right time to be able to take us where we need to take to. But I'm sorry, Jarvis, I'm at Old Trafford. It's usually Saturday afternoon. Or a Sunday, it's mostly Sunday afternoon, Jarvis. And I'm seeing fucking Crystal Palace ball us off the fucking park. And he comes out like concussed and tells us that, if you listen to what Ten Hag said and what Amorim said, is exactly the fucking same. Yeah, I thought we played well, I thought we were unlucky. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about here, man? We got fucking bopped. Meunier, you showed it, Jarvis. Meunier and fucking Mitchell are crossing the ball to each other. Fucking in our box. In what world is this? We play with 5 at the back, except fucking 3 at the back. It's 5 at the back. And we start conceding even more fucking goals and chances. In what world? We press up the pitch, but then there's a huge fucking gap, just like it was with Ten Hag, because our centre-halves don't fucking push on and make compact play. But when we played Liverpool, I saw a compact team. We played City, I saw a compact team. When we played Arsenal, I saw a very compact team. What the fuck are we doing here? I said, show me something. Jarvis is the same thing. What with fucking with what's his name? Mr. Buck Teeth. What's his name? Liverpool ex-manager.
Klopp
came in. They were losing games. They were getting hammered. Sometimes they got smashed by Stoke and stuff like that. But throughout the game, watching the game, you saw an attacking thrust. You saw combinations. You saw attacking for me. The only grace I'm giving him now, Jarvis, is that I'm giving him that he's going to have time on the training. Remember when he first popped in, what did I say to you all? I want us to get the fuck out of every cup. Give the guy time on the training ground.
He said so as well.
Now, Jarvis, he has to. The only way he can do this now that Ineos have threw him under the bus is that he needs to coach these socks off now. And I don't care where we finish in the season, Jarvis, but I give a fuck about the performances. And I'm not going to be silent because the performances are shit. I refuse to be silent. I'm sorry.
I set up here, Nordin, a classical.
Before you get into that,
Go.
Adewale, the agenda is calling out is calling out things that aren't right. Maybe sure you've seen successful football team where 2 players combined have taken 100+ shots and scored 5 goals are successful. Please show me, Sean. Anyway, go ahead, Jarvis. Big up. Sean will answer you after this. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yes,
Do the
yes.
breakdown.
Big up, Adewale. Yeah, I like the things you bring up on Bruno. I brought a lot of things up on Bruno after last game. I think Bruno had a terrible game. He's not a number 8. He can't do defensive work. There's a lot of things he needs to improve. But it's not as wasteful as he was under Ten Hag. So he has changed a little bit, in my opinion. But going back to what we talked about, us playing out from the back, for example, now. We see a lot of long balls from Onana. We're not playing with the ball playing goalkeeper. And when we build up from the back, we're not building out with these 3 guys here and these 2. We are actually building up with all of this. So and even Mainu sometimes drops down to receive the ball. So we struggle because we can't play the ball in between us. You know, you talk about playing the zigzag from one side to the other side and then go into attack. This is what we are trying to do. We try to keep hold of the ball so the opposition will come up high and there will be space in behind. So we talked about all these things, but the abilities of our players, for example, when we try to play out from the back, is dreadful. We're not doing it on a consistent level.
But Jarvis, that's why Amorim wanted to use attacking players on the wings.
2 seconds. And when we come into midfield, we struggle there because Bruno, Ugarte, they don't have the ability to find the right players and do the right things. They don't know where to drive with the ball. They don't know how to find the wing back, the positioning. And the wing backs sometimes are too high, they are too low. So everything is inconsistent when it comes to us. We struggle in so many levels. It's not just about going into attack and the wing backs are reluctant to join the 3 guys who are attacking, because we most of the time attack with 3 guys, the striker and the 2 number 10s. And we are easily getting outnumbered because we're just 3 guys. And that's the biggest problem. We don't score goals. We had 1 shot against Crystal Palace in 90 minutes, I think.
Jarvis, actually, Jarvis, we doubled our money. We had 2.
No, but like
okay.
We had 2.
Yes,
one of them, Jarvis,
you...
was from a corner or a free kick, and the ball just dropped in the box, and Ugarte slid in, and it was like it's just a sliding shot, and the keeper made the save, and then Bruno had the best chance in the fucking game when Ahmad just teed him up nicely.
The thing we spoke about Mazraoui and Dalot's natural instincts, I think that's at work here, right? The fact that Mazraoui and Dalot don't get forward as quickly or as often as we would like them to, that's, I think, down to the manager making the decision to play both those guys instead of people who would have the instinct to get him what he wants, number 1. Number 2, the way I see our attack often break down is that whenever the ball gets out wide to Dalot or Mazraoui in those positions, they make mistakes, especially Dalot. So we're trying to play out of the back and play through the winger to play into Garnacho in the middle. But once the ball gets to Dalot, it's gone. Like, regardless of how it gets to him, once it gets to him, the move is breaking down. That's a problem. Why do I keep seeing Dalot there, right? When Amorim first started his Man United tenure, he was playing Ahmad and Mazraoui in that right center back, right wing back. And Ahmad is perfect at keeping the ball. So if your goal is ball retention, why not play the right profiles within the squad in those positions to get you what you're looking for? That's my issue. Every time I see Mazraoui playing right wing back instead of Ahmad, that just tells me you're not interested in building out of the back, right? And if that's a choice that the manager is making, because it looks like the key playmakers are actually Martinez. It's actually Licha that is tasked with passing the ball through the lines, not Ugarte or Bruno. It's Licha on the left and Delete or Euro, whoever is playing on the right, that is tasked with actually progressing the ball through the lines. And I think Licha does a good job of with those passes. But the main thing is the profiles that are in the positions are not the right profiles. And despite the fact that we need to sign players, I think within the squad that we have, we can do better.
We can.
Oh, and to address Adewale real quick. Honestly, the Bruno agenda, as far as I'm concerned, is boring to me now. I think whatever you want about Bruno, I think he's a good
Sean,
player.
he was terrible. Sean, he was terrible.
He was terrible.
On the
Yes, he
weekend.
was terrible.
Sean, how
I don't
many
disagree
games
with
can
that.
he be terrible and be a good player, Sean? 1 game out of 5, he might play well. 1 game out of 5.
I think Bruno's return
And he
for
messes
United
up
is
the
more than
team.
1 in 5.
He absolutely messes up the team. I'm sorry, the position and discipline and how managers let him get away with it is fucking shocking to me.
Well,
people are telling me because he wants the ball. What does that mean?
Yeah, he does want the ball. Bruno is brave that way. Bruno. He's brave that way. He wants the ball all the time.
No, but if you want the ball, I'm not giving it to you because you lose it and you put us in danger. We concede goals because of your shitty fucking play and shit tactics. These football tactics.
What about...
You watched that first half. I watched the game twice, by the way. Mumbai. Yes, I know. I put myself through. I know. I'm a sadist. Yeah, I like to put myself through pain. Yeah, I watched it twice, and he was hoofing the ball in the first half, and we got Kobe up front. In the 70th minute, we make the changes, and he's trying to play football out of his own area. Make it make sense. Go ahead, Mumbai.
What would happen?
Jarvis, no, I'm sorry. 1 second, Mumbai. I'll come to you. Jarvis, he's got to coach his way out of this. That's the only way he can do it. Now he's going to have a time, couple of weeks. It's the Europa League. He's going to have a bit of a time. And in March, I think there's 4 games in March. We went through it the other day.
Yes.
So it's just tough. It's really tough, but he's going to have to coach himself out.
Yeah, but coaching himself out of it is one thing, but I think he will struggle. And also, I've seen a change in Amorim lately, because I don't know if you guys remember after we won against Fulham, he said in the interview after the game that now he will get some time. You remember that? He said it was important win. Now we will get some time. We will get a breather. And it tells me a little bit about his mindset at the moment, because he feels the pressure and he feels the pressure to win. So I think he sets up the team now in a way just to get the result. And that worries me a little bit, because I want him to be ruthless, because I'm willing to give him a free pass. We can lose 10 games in a row as long as I see us producing a style of play and we are progressing in what we are trying to do.
Jarvis, isn't there a contradiction?
Yes, it is. But the contradiction for me is I want him to believe in his own style and force these players to play that style. When we play up on the back,
Jarvis, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But I just don't want him to make basic mistakes. I don't want anything to change. I want him to play his 3-4-3. So I want him to do that, Jarvis. But I just don't want you to make the same bullshit mistakes after game and change it when you got time to change it in an in-game. Go ahead, Jarvis. Sorry.
Yeah, but what this is why I'm showing you this. For example, when we play out from the back, we see we are really deep with a lot of players. But we should have done it as we did it in Sporting, bringing up the one of the centre backs and playing the goalkeeper. So we have more people up front. So you attract press with
creating the overload.
Just 4 players, and then you have a lot of players to go into the next stage. But when we get out from playing out from the back, we don't have the players for the next stage. So
the next phase. So it's phase 1 into phase 2. We don't have the players to go into phase 2.
Yeah, but he's trying just to help the players. Let's just overload the depth when we play out from the back, and I think he's starting to paint himself into a corner, because I think he should be more ruthless. He should have more guts, and we as fans, we should give him a free pass. We should back Amorim, sing the Amorim song, and support the manager. We can boo the players, but support the manager 100% and stop talking about Amorim doing mistakes all the time, because he needs this time to make mistakes, because this is how he learns.
But even if you accept all of that, right, Jarvis, my point about the contradiction is, if you say you can give him room to lose 10 games in a row, provided you see a consistent style of play that's improving, I would think that if you have a consistent style of play that is improving, that should produce results, right? It's because the objective of your style of play is to not only boost the skills of your own players, but to counteract the strengths of the other team so that you can get a good result. So I see a contradiction between the claim that take your time, Amorim, as long as you show me a style of play, but also you're allowed to lose as many matches as you like. Like if there's a style of play at work that is working and that is improving every game, then it should result in victories, in W's. To add to your concern, I was listening to Paul Scholes talk about the fact that I think in the pre-match warm-up before the game, we're spending a lot of time working on the shape, on the player shape, on where to be, and you can tell that the players are very conscious about instead of playing the game for the love of the game, they are trying to stand in the right position. Make sure you stand correctly, and that's like information overload basically to the already mediocre players that as we all assess them to be. Right, these are already.
John, have you ever been to a dance course trying to learn the samba or anything? Trying to dance because when you get the instructions from the teacher, you listen to the music and you try. You just stand there. You don't have any rhythm. You're just focused on where to put your feet all the time. And this is at the stage we are at. We're not feeling the music. We are not dancing in the way we should. So yes, we are in stage one. We're trying to learn this, and it's awkward at the moment. But I think we can improve. We will improve. But Amorim just needs to be persistent. He needs to stop trying to fix his issues.
So when you say
and
Amorim has a
continue
free
what he's
reign this
doing.
season, are you like Nuruddin that you don't mind if we get relegated?
Yeah, sure. If it means we get the Glazers out, I'll take the relegation. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's all about getting the Glazers out. They are the evil in this club. They are ruining our club, and we all know it. Every time we sit here and discuss, if we talk long enough, it all comes back to the Glazers. We know it. They are ruining this club, and we don't have any money. We can't buy a new striker. We are in need of a striker. It was Ten Hag's biggest problem. It's Amorim's biggest problem. We can't score goals. That's one of our biggest problems. And we don't have a left winger. Now we have Martinez injured. Our best center back is injured. I'm not sure how we're going to fix this. People saying, oh, yes, we signed this Heaven guy who's not played one game in the Premier League coming in. And Luke Shaw is injured again. It's like a comedy. It's like a evil joke, everything.
Jarvis, Jarvis, who's injured again?
I don't know if you heard about him. It's a guy who used to play for us 10 years ago, but he's been injured about 7.5 of those 10, 11 years.
Yeah,
his name was Luke Shaw, I think.
I don't remember.
Fundamentally disagree with you and Nuruddin on this. For me, relegation is a non-starter. I don't think
remember in the 1970s. Manchester United had the perfect reset. We had a brilliant reset.
Yeah, but Sean,
the fans went to the stadium. More fans went to the stadium after we got relegated than before, and we came back, and then we stopped Liverpool from doing a treble. Remember that?
But Sean, I know you disagree. You don't want a relegation, but do you agree that the Glazers are the problem of the club?
A problem? Yes. The problem? No.
Okay, so they are not the problem. They are a problem.
They're a problem, yes.
Okay.
Good night, guys. Good night. Good night. It's been a pleasure. I'll leave you alone with John Jarvis. Please end the show for me. I'm not here to lose my temper. I'm not going to be triggered. It's night time.
Yeah, let's not do
my
that.
neighbors have children, so I'm going to go genuinely. Please, Jarvis, if you won't mind finishing the show for me, I really appreciate that, because that is... I can't believe what I just heard from Sean's mouth. I'm gonna just mute.
Okay. Yeah, because I think Sean, you're wrong on this.
No, I mean, we
know anything
disagree
about Man United, and you know what changed when the Glazers came in.
I know I was a United fan before they came in. I've been a United fan since. I just fundamentally disagree around what is expected from an owner of a club, or acceptable, what's normal, what's within the normal course of business. How fans, I think, are kind of misguided around what kind of rights or privileges they're entitled to, as fans. So fundamentally, we disagree on the nature, basically, of football as a sport and as a business. So yeah, that's just where this argument is coming from. I think the Glazers are a problem. But just like with Amorim, I also can locate several problems at the different managers that we've had in the post-Fergie era. Um, and they have been like, for a variety of reasons, basically. There have been issues with each of them that have caused them to fail. I think it's overly simplistic to lay everything at the feet of the Glazers. And I don't think relegation in any way guarantees them leaving, right? Because the whole premise of why the Glazers want to stay is that if you're paying close attention to football, there's a lot of value coming into the sport right now, especially in the TV money and all of that. So if you're an investor in a football club, especially one like Man United, why would you want to sell your investment right now? Like why? Knowing fully well that Amazon are about to, possibly start streaming football in the future, or Netflix, and there's a lot more money coming into the sports. Maybe even as a result of the new Champions League format, or the fact that there's a lot more eyes and it's a global sport now. So I just don't feel as pressed, basically, about the Glazers as everyone else. I don't want to trigger Nuruddin or the fan base, but I don't want to be relegated. I don't want to be playing in the championship. I don't think anything is worth relegation. I also don't think relegation guarantees the Glazers leaving, because then they'll be taking a huge haircut, a huge loss on their investment. And they're likely to want to stick and ride out the upward swing, basically, in their share price when we get back to the Premier League. It's unlikely that they will just divest and sell at that point. So yeah, I don't want to be in relegation. We need to stay in the Premier League, and our manager Ruben Amorim needs to reach into his bag. That bag that he reached into against Liverpool, against Arsenal, against Man City, that stroke of genius that he was able to find to motivate the players, he needs to dig deep and find it. Coach, do your freaking job, right? Don't take my beloved team from 8th last year to 19th or 20th this year and tell me you had no choice. I'm sorry. That's just not acceptable to me.
Okay. I
But
don't
yeah,
know
you were doing good
how
job.
to reply.
Good
I
job
think
staying silent throughout.
I think Nuruddin is better off muted. But for me, I think it's clear that the Glazers are the root of all that's gone bad with Man United. They are put us in a depth that we can't get out of. We are hampered when it comes to finances, and the way they run the club, it's terrible. And the culture they have installed in this group of players and the whole organization, it's all about greed and money. And it's not about producing football. And Noradin is a purist. I'm a purist. I love to see the game. I love to see attractive football. I love to see attacking football. I want to be excited when I see the games. But we all been through this. It's almost been like a nightmare now for the last 20 years. And it's not the Man United that we grew up with, at least that I grew up with. So, and for me, it's 100% on the Glazers.
Yeah, I mean, I would accept a framing where you say they are the root of the problem, right? I would accept that framing, that they are the roots. But that's different from saying that they are the problem, because they definitely have a lot of failures that they can take responsibility for 100%. But where I'm coming from is that every single manager, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer, Ten Hag, has their own individual failures, unique, separate and apart from the issues that the Glazers brought in different ways. And the similar, I think, running thread through all of them generally is usually they can get more out of the squad than they are getting. But for pride, for loss of interest, for loss of motivation, whatever, because it's always the same thing. When a manager at United is coming towards the end of his career or his tenure, he starts making some crazy decisions, starts trusting a smaller and smaller circle of players, like playing Mazraoui in the number 10 instead of Ahmad. So you start seeing that kind of craziness. And for that one, is it Glazers you want to blame for Ten Hag's failure? No, Ten Hag is responsible to a large extent for his own failures, even though the Glazers are a problem in that regard too. Right, so for me, it's consistency.
Where have you been the last 10 years, and especially on the Ten Hag? You know, they dilly-dally. They tried to sign Anthony and then waited until the last minute and signed him for 95 million euros or something. And they brought in Casemiro for 65 million, aging Casemiro on almost deadline day. They gave
Chasing Frankie de Jong.
They gave Ten Hag so bad working environments. And yeah, sure, a lot of these things was Ten Hag's responsibility too, but the prices and the player wages, the renewal of contracts, the renewal of the contract of Luke Shaw being injured for
So
7.5 years out of his
Anthony
11
as an
years of the
example.
club.
Let's use Anthony as a case study, right? You can allocate some blame to the Glazers for, as you rightly said, wasting time in the summer and eventually paying 90 million for Anthony. That's all on the Glazers, right? Where Ten Hag takes responsibility is after 20 games, after 25 games, after a full season of Anthony, you still insist on playing Anthony over and over again.
Yeah, but I'm not
Until
saying Ten Hag did mistakes, but you know,
yeah. So that's the dispute. So when you say the problem,
Mourinho, Louis van
versus
Gaal,
a problem.
both.
You guys are talking about the root of the problem.
Yes.
And the problem are one and the same thing. It's just semantics now. The
Yeah.
Semantics are
problem and the
important.
root of the problem mean one and the same thing. Exactly.
I talk to a lot of lawyers, but my semantics are very important.
The problem and the root of the problem, the THEE and root are synonymous with addressing the main problem that causes the carnage that comes thereafter. If you go back to David Moyes and see the promises that he was supposed to get Fabregas, blah blah blah, they gave him Fellaini deadline day for a ridiculous amount. Van Gaal, after he left United, he said, I thought I was coming to United. I was getting third and fourth choice. Then you go to Mourinho. To Jose Mourinho, the club needed investment, we realized this. W just came second with 81 points, and we just need to reinvest now, get more players to go after City, who scored 100 points. He won the Europa League League Cup. He went to the FA Cup final against Chelsea and lost 1-0. But they went and just invested in Fred that season, Dalot and Lee Grant. And he was also always very unhappy when you hear him after he left. He said, when you move into a house and it has old furniture, you want to get rid of that furniture so you can bring in your new one. We couldn't sell any players. So every manager is inheriting very, very bad business done by the club, by the Glazers, by Ed Woodward. And their hands are, one hand is tied behind your back. Then okay, nobody's absolved of blame. Managers get sacked, they take responsibility. But every manager that's coming in here, they're not bad managers. We've not got bad players. But the root of the problem is what is making this job and exacerbating its difficulty. And Amorim is symptomatic of that, in the sense that we decided to stick with a manager that we stuck with. We brought a new manager halfway through a season. We understand, like he understands the squad, we also understand what he does. We understand if we've got Wilcox now and guys that are supposed to be footballing guys, if they are convinced that these players are perfect for the way Amorim wants to play, and Amorim is not, we have a very big problem, because these are the people that make the decisions. And if their sails are not sailing in the same direction, this is never going to work. So we do have a major issue, bro. You can't spend £2 billion and be in relegation after all these years. And look at the names we've got, bro. This is symptomatic of the problem, the root problem. That is the Glazers. They're, and you're right. From a businessman perspective, why would you sell? You wouldn't. But that therein is the actual problem, that we are. Commerce is the primary objective, and football has been very, very secondary. And we are suffering as a result of that. And the way that we invest is quite spendthrift, with no real vision and long-term foresight, no real plan. And
Right,
this
guys.
is why we're just falling apart, bro, and we are where we are now. Now we're at the same juncture again. We've had this argument, haven't we?
We can debate this all day.
It's the manager, it's the players. The one constant that has remained for
20
the
years.
duration is the Glazers.
We're not that. We're not
And
that
now
juice.
And
Ineos.
not even the Glazers. It's now we have Ineos coming
Ineos.
in, and
We're
they
not
are doing a lot of the same
Real state.
mistakes as the
Real
Glazers.
state. Real
It's
state.
still, we don't have a DOF. We don't have a
I know.
director of football.
And you know what, Jarvis?
Dan Ashworth, and we're not installing a new one. We've been
They never
without a
came out.
director of football, and we as fans and the club has been screaming for a director of football who can set the course straight. And now we have Umar Barada, the guy who were in charge was Citigroup, commercial guy. You know, okay, he was part of City's rise, but he's a commercial guy. That's what was his job in the City
Out
Group.
of all the signings
And
that
we have
made,
Wilcox, who used to train the Manchester City under 18s.
out of all the signings of the new team that we've put together to run the club, the most exciting one was Dan Ashworth because of his track record, and he's
Yes.
the one that left. He's the
Yes.
one that we actually, as fans, had the most faith in to try and start getting us the right ones. Work with the manager to identify the vision and implement it. Get it together. And he left after
Big up to
7 months.
Jamie Wayne.
He left, and now we have Dodgy
Big up to
Dave
Jamie
coming
Wayne.
in with his
We-
professors
we-
of
yeah, well,
exercise and
you didn't replace
metabolism.
him. Like you say, you didn't replace him.
Don't forget the inhaler, Jarvis.
That work has now been amalgamated into the role of somebody that is not a specialist in that role, Omar Barada. Maybe this is again part of the cost-cutting exercise that's evident
Again,
from
fundamental like philosophical differences, right? I think it's a false choice. The choice between commerce and football on the pitch, I think, is entirely a false choice. I think clubs like United, publicly traded entities as well, you can't choose between pursuing the commercial aspect and pursuing football. They're supposed to go hand in hand. The decisions that the Glazers made in their tenure were bad decisions. Let me make that clear for everyone to understand. They made the wrong decisions, but I think they made those wrong decisions with the intention of achieving football success. So they copied the wrong model. They thought they could buy success. They thought by buying Ibrahimovic, Pogba, Alexis Sanchez, by plastering the team with overpaid superstars, that could get us success. Wrong approach. It failed, right? But that doesn't mean that like they weren't trying to get success on the pitch. So yeah, I think it's a
So
false
you're
choice.
saying, Sean, that they're incompetent. All the more
Yeah.
reason to get rid.
Exactly, incompetent. And one of our major disputes on this channel has been whether it's incompetence or evil or malice, right? And I'm saying, why ascribe to malice? What can simply be explained by incompetence? The incompetence is the prerogative of every human being, right? So that's what I'm saying. I don't think we need to make the Glazers uniquely
Sean,
bad, but hey.
the prerogative of every human being. It's my choice to be incompetent. If you are incompetent, you have to answer for it. And the incompetence levels at Manchester United under the Glazers are off the charts. The amount of money that we've squandered and the paltry return on that investment in terms of trophies, style of play, making it into the Champions League, that on its own, if we take aside the personal disdain for these people because of this condition of the club, is, clear cause to sever ties, to protest, to get them out. So whether you want to call it incompetence, whether somebody believes that they have no real interest and they are here to gut this place and commerce is trumping football, it all goes back to the same thing. You are not fit for purpose. You haven't been in a long time. And the record shows that. You are one of the highest spending with the worst return. We're currently 15th. So there is no way out of it. However way you choose to see it, this family has fucked this club so far.
Yeah. So let's say I agree with all of that, right? But which I do. My conclusion, and I know everybody wants to wrap up. My conclusion simply is that I still don't think that means we should be losing 2-0 at home to Crystal Palace in the way we did.
Get used to it, man. It's gonna happen more. We're in a lot of trouble.
I want to just get into quickly. Friday night, FA Cup.
Yes.
Roots coming home to take the piss.
All right, last one, yeah. If we get a clipping at home to Leicester,
I'm going Bombay. I forgot to tell you, I'm going.
Good luck with that.
Oh man.
What happens?
Well, it is what it is.
It's not what it is. It can't be what it is. What are we doing here?
Let me break it down for you. This is the fourth FA Cup meeting between Manchester United and Leicester City, and the Red Devils have won the first two, 3-1. in 1962 to 1963 final, and in 1975 and 1976 fifth round. With all the the Foxes have won 3-1 in the most recent game in 2020. I remember that. The quarterfinals on their way to lifting the trophy. Manchester United have already beaten Leicester twice at Old Trafford this season. 5-2 in the League Cup, 3-0 in the Premier League. With the current Foxes plus Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Listen, stop giving us that false hope. I ain't buying
for
that shit.
both wins. They have never won 3 home games against one club in a season before. With Man City against Chelsea in 2022-23, last time a Premier League side did
You're setting our boys up to fail, man.
They're about to break the record now.
Yeah, Manchester United have won 16 of their last 18 home FA Cup matches, drawing 2, although one of those draws saw them eliminated by penalties by Middlesbrough in 2022. The last side to win the win in normal time at Old Trafford were Arsenal in March 2015 2-1 victory. I remember that victory. Leicester City have progressed from 7 of their last FA Cup 4th round ties, and the other 4-1 away defeat at Nottingham Forest. Little bit more notes. Bruno Fernandes has been involved in 10 goals in his last 10 FA Cup appearances for Manchester United. 7 goals, 3 assists, scoring there in their final 1-1 draw against Arsenal. So last drawing in their scoring their goal in the draw against Arsenal in the 3rd round this year. So talk to me nice.
Well, it's a no lose for me. If we win, great. If we don't, I'm going straight to Saeed TV. I'm gonna tune into you as well, see what's gonna happen there. So I'm ready, man. Bring it.
I'm going to the games at Old Trafford. I'm going to the games tomorrow. The Friday night. I'm going to Old Trafford.
I just
7 o'clock. All right.
8 o'clock.
This game is a must-win for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not. I mean, I'm writing off the season to an extent, but at the same time, like, what are we even doing here? Like, what are we doing? Honestly, that we're here talking about how Leicester can't get a win for love of money right now. Ruud is, I think, a few more losses away from crashing out. Right, he's fighting with his players. He's almost beating them up. Clearly, I think he's probably regretting his choice to take this Leicester job, right? Because Leicester are a terrible team. So if they come to Old Trafford and beat us, and the way this team loses right now, right? We don't only lose in the goals, we lose pathetically, like we did against Crystal Palace, where it doesn't look like we can get a goal from anywhere. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry, right? I don't want to see us playing against Leicester, because what are we now doing? Like, let's just stop the count, stop the season right now. Everybody go home. We'll come back next year.
They are absolutely awful. They're really awful. Leicester cannot defend for nothing.
No.
But this
they can attack though. Jamie Vardy's having a party.
Yeah, exactly. Bring.
They haven't kept a clean sheet in 19 matches.
Yeah, they're really bad. They are really, really. They definitely are, without a shadow of doubt, at the moment, the worst team.
Yeah,
that could change on Friday.
Watch them look like Prime Barcelona against us.
Okay, I'm gonna go around. Jarvis, what do you think about our chances of continuing to the to the 5th round of the FA Cup on Friday?
Yeah. To be honest, I rather we didn't, in a way, because I think we need more time on the training pitch.
Me too, Jarvis.
Because we won the cup last season, and for me, there's only one cup that matters this year, and that's the Europa League. I would like us to see to go as far as possible and maybe win it, because it will mean everything for us financially if we can go into Champions League next season. Then we might see us spending some money to give Amrim the help he needs to get this team going. But I think we will win against Leicester. I think they're not a good team, but they have a couple of good players. I like this. I think it's Egyptian or Bilal. what's his name again? Bilal.
Yeah, the kid who runs with the ball. He runs at people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. He scored at Old
Kanous,
Trafford. Yeah, Kanous. Yeah, he scored at Old Trafford.
Oh,
He scored
Kanous,
at
yeah,
Old
what's his
Trafford,
name?
didn't he? When we beat them 5-2 or whatever it was. He scored one.
And they also have this the left or the right winger, the Fatavu. He
But-
used to play. He
but
used to
he's
play
injured.
under Amorim in Sporting.
Yeah, but he's injured. He's out for the season apparently, Jarvis.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's out
Okay,
for the season
okay.
apparently. Yeah. But they've got Bonanotte from is it
He's all right.
Bonanotte? The guy from
Yes.
long loan from Brighton. He's a
Yeah,
brilliant footballer.
Brighton, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
good. He's technical,
good.
good player.
So yeah, but they can hurt us. We don't know what Man United team that will show up, and yeah, I think we could easily lose that game, but we could easily win that game too. So you never know when it comes to Man United. We are like a box of chocolate. Someone said in the chat. But then my prediction. Let me give you a prediction. I think it will be open-ended game, and Ahmad will score a brace, I believe. So we're 2-1.
Sure.
Yeah. Big up Adewale. Adewale says, how can Shaw say Rude regrets taking the Leicester job because of the players there, yet he expects Amorim, who's teaching new system to United players who are not good enough to win games we've previously lost under Eric Ten Hag. Got you there, mate. He's got you. He's got you. That's a just checkmate there.
Sure thing, Adewale. Thank you for the super chat. I have nothing else to say.
Checkmate, mate. Checkmate.
I think I'm gonna go. I'll go 2-1 United. I think I see like Jarvis actually. Ahmad will get on the score sheet.
I would like to see Mainu coming back into the 10. And I would like us I would like to try to play with Xerxes up top and Mainu in the 10. And I don't want to see Bruno in the midfield anymore. I want us to play Collier and Ugarte, more defensive stability, and give the wings and the sides, the flanks, freedom to attack.
Yeah.
So basically, just attack with the defend with the three center backs and the 2 defensive midfielders, and let the rest of the guys run. I think that will be a good balanced team.
Me? I think Amorim is thinking like a manager of a big club, and he recognizes, rightly so, that he gets paid a lot of money, and so he has to be close to, if not a genius. There's no room to go on holiday and say, there are excuses available to me, so therefore it doesn't matter what I do this season. I think it's very important for Amorim to win a trophy this year. And I think he's going to try his best to win not only the FA Cup, but whatever competition that we find ourselves in. So I expect to see like I expect to see a full strength. When you hear Arteta
score a goal and you want us to win a trophy.
When you hear,
back
I'm not talking about what I want. I'm talking about what I think the manager is thinking about, right? So when you hear Arteta talk about Community Shield as trophies, he's alluding to something, which is that at that level for these managers, you need to win. You need to win stuff.
Okay.
You need to win
I
trophies.
understand that. Sorry, I misunderstood.
So that's what I'm getting at. That
Okay.
I think Amorim, without a doubt, in his mind, would like to win something. And I think he's going to approach this game and all the FA Cup games like that. So it's a no-brainer for me that we have to win, and I think we will win. I hope the current trend of everybody looking like prime Real Madrid or prime Barcelona against us stops with this Leicester game, and that I hope we look comfortable. That's what I want to see from us. I want to see us beat a lower quality team like we're supposed to. I'm tired of these insinuations that our squad is on the same level as Crystal Palace or Leicester. And that's what's going to happen if we lose this game or if it's not a convincing victory. So I'm looking for us to score a few goals, not concede, and for the difference in quality to be evident or obvious. So I'll go with like 3-1 or 2-0 United.
Jarvis? Score.
Yeah, I said my prediction. So
You
yeah,
said
it's good.
Okay,
2-1.
sorry.
I'm at
Mbaye.
place. Yeah, I just want to say, yeah, I went same as Jarvis, 2-1. I think Ahmad will score, bro.
Yeah.
There is a part of me, I think both what
Big up
Jarvis
Jamie
is
Wade.
saying and what Sean is saying is fair enough. But there was something I remember you, Jarvis, told me about a team, the way that they were doing something, a strategy, like winning games. Or like, I need you to tell me that again another time. But I think sometimes when you're trying to get players to believe in what we're trying to do, the vindication maybe needs to come from results. Maybe it needs to come from some sort of results. Because if you don't get anything out of a game and that persists for quite a bit, it's maybe I'm not saying yeah, but maybe sometimes you don't believe in what you're doing, and I think that's important. That you can see it as a player, you can feel it. You know what? We tore them apart today. We should have won that game. Let's keep going. But when you're not getting anything in terms of points, it's difficult to maybe keep these players on board and show them the fruits of their labor when they're losing every week and the fans are, you know, giving them shit. So it's a very difficult balancing act. I think Amorim is in a very, very difficult situation here. And this is why he called it a storm. And I've kind of resigned myself because I understand. I understand that you want to play a certain way that you believe in. Now you still believe in it. I understand maybe you might be having a tug of war with Ineos. Maybe. I'm not saying it is. And I understand that sometimes it's not the quality of the player. It's just he's not the right player. He won't be able to do what you want him to do, the way that you're asking him to do it. So sometimes he's going to try and get you a result. I think that's why earlier in the show they asked Amarim, and I asked you, Jarvis, and I asked you, Nuruddin, if you knew what he used at Sporting, and you said he used attacking players in the wide areas. And he
Two
said
wingers.
to, yeah, you know, naturally attacking guys who have understood how to defend,
Wingers. They use wingers.
wingers. Whereas here, he said, while I'm in the embryonic stages of trying to get the dust settled so that everybody understands the hymn sheet, I am going to use probably defenders and teach them how to attack it safer. Because I do believe Jarvis is right. He has to get some points, and he's in his mind. He's getting some points. Jarvis, it's cool. What you're saying is
No,
fine
that's
too.
my point too.
But
Jarvis
but
wants us to get
but
relegated.
but but that what we want in terms of, as long as I see good football, I don't mind you losing. I don't know if his employer um has the same outlook,
Uh-huh.
and the reality is he does. You do have to do a little bit of both at Man United.
All get involved now. Start waving to
It's
the
difficult.
clowns. Project 21.
It's
They
tough.
all get Project 21.
When do we get the 21st? Have we been given some sort of date?
No, they've got. Yeah, well, they've basically got a David Brailsford, Sir David Brailsford, to be correct.
Is he the
That's how we
guy?
know him on
Is he
this channel.
the
Dodgy
bald
Dave.
guy with the glasses?
Dodgy Dave with the inhalers.
Dodgy
He
Dave.
is. He's commissioned this, and the project is 21. And it's the same project that Omar Barada told us about. It's called the 150th anniversary, which is in 3 years' time. In 3 years' time, they want to get the 21st league title. So there we go, people.
Noradin,
Yes.
I know you are about to wrap up the show. We are heading into 2 hours, but I just made this. If it's okay for you, I just want to add this. This is how maybe I see the team against Leicester. Would you go for something like this, or
Yeah.
would you change
Yes.
anything up?
That's a really good team for
That's the
me.
team. That's the team.
Really like that.
That's the team, Jarvis. That's the team. That's the fucking team.
I really like that team.
Yeah, the
That's
question
the team.
mark is Drogu. So let's say if he's not ready, we have to play Garnacho in this position.
Yeah.
Facts.
We're going. Jarvis, you're really going for it here.
Yes.
We have
Yeah.
to go for it.
But then you
do
have
you know
Ugarte
what?
and Collier defending, so they will be solid centrally, and we will also have both Bruno and Mainu who can drop down if we are under pressure, and we have hold-up players. these
Do you
three can
know?
link up, and these two guys can attack and do diagonal runs
Do you know
inside.
that looks really nice, but I think the problem that we might have, and maybe we're already having, and I've not noticed it. You can tell me. Um, when we are defending and
Mhm.
Collier and Ugarte effectively slot into that, that should give us the width to cover the back of the pitch
Yeah.
to stop them. But I don't think it's doing that. That's one of our major issues. We seem to be finding our left and right centre backs um, having to go out wide to address the situation, and teams are getting some joy. That's a problem. If they can transition quickly, there's always gaps in this three at the back where you
Mm.
can put balls in and attack that space.
Mm.
And I think the fact that we lose the ball in transitions and they go quick catches us off guard. And against Southampton, I remember Lenny Oro was faced with a lot of problems with that kid on the left hand side. Dino, he always was the final guy back. The wing back wasn't there, or the centre back was maybe slow to get him back. And our guy was getting dragged out. So I don't know what's going on. And we need to have some element of offside trap in our brain. Get good at that if we're going to go so high with this.
Mm.
We're
Mm.
not catching a lot of people offside. Delow's playing people on side, Maguire's playing people
Maguire.
on side.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, in my brain, common sense says you've got to be working on offside traps if you're going to play with such risk, because you don't need to be a great passer. The vast gap in behind is massive. Is
Mm.
massive. So there's some pretty basic shit that I think we could do better at.
Yeah, I saw just Dave coming in and say this is an option.
Yeah, that's what we can all agree on. The
Okay.
last note that you said, that there's more that we can improve on right now in the current squad. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, guys, big up. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. Big up to Jarvis. Big up to Sean. And big up to Bumbaye. But before we go, please, Tactical Devils, let's see how many subscribers we're on there.
Big up,
Let me
guys.
have a,
Popping off.
let me have a look.
Tactical Devils.
Big up.
Tactical Devils.
How was the show with Phil Marsh?
It was good.
Yeah, it was a brilliant show, and
Good show.
Noradin was there,
Show
and
it was.
yeah, it was a really good show actually. So
Get
I
a bit
enjoyed it.
behind.
Good.
Get a bit
Good.
behind the scenes of what.
Yeah.
Wow. So the 35 subscribers away from 500 where he can monetize.
Congratulations, man! It's
So
we're
people,
getting there.
is 35 subscribers away. Please, I beg you, go over there now and smash that subscribe button on the channel. It's going to be changed to Devil's Tacticals. And we said it. We were the first to say it on here when the channel got bought up. And the other night, Jarvis did a poll, and the name will be changed.
No, not the channel name. It's like the therapy army.
Show.
The chat.
Yeah.
The chat will be.
Yeah. Sorry, the Tacticals. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Devil's Tacticals army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it will be good.
But
And,
please go over there and subscribe to the channel. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll help a lot. You know, we are just
35
35
subscribers away from
35.
being able to monetize. 35 subscribers being able to monetize.
Yeah.
So go on, that's the least you can do.
Come on, people. Let's take YouTube's money. They fucking shadow banned us. Let's take some money off them. Get him monetized.
And tomorrow night after the game, Stu and I will be live with the tactical analysts of a breakdown of the game, and afterwards I will jump on with Noradin when you come home. I don't know if you will do a late stream tomorrow night or.
Yeah. I'll come and do the match reaction around. I'll be here at 10:45, 10:50, something like that.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
No, sorry, Friday.
Friday. Yes.
See, we both don't know. We're tired. We're that tired.
United has that.
Do you
effect.
think the record of the academy plays in the score will be over this season or next? Do you think the record for an academy player,
meaning that we don't start with an academy player in the starting 11?
Yeah, maybe.
I hope not.
Maybe
It's not-
70 years, isn't it? I think we've got
Got a
that
new
for
sub.
70 years.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, come on, people. Please get over there, people. Come on.
Right.
Let's get over there and subscribe to the channel. Come on, people. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's at least 10 of you do it. At least 10. That's the thing. Let's 10 people get over there and subscribe to the channel. It's the
Yeah, that
least
would be
you could
great.
do.
That would be great.
Yeah, 10
But
of you.
Nordin, a question. Obi Martin, he wasn't
Oh.
selected for the squad on the 18th.
It's
Do you
another
think we can-
bullshit PR, Jarvis. It's how to lift the young. Oh, he's excited. Gino.
Yeah, but would you play him tomorrow or a Friday? Do you think he's ready?
Only if the structure is right of the team. I won't let the kid hang him to dry, Jarvis.
No, okay.
If the structure, remember Van Gaal had the structure of the team right. Then he brought in the kids. And
And he also had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, but yes, we did. But he also played and sold a lot of experienced players, did he not?
He did.
By bringing a lot of youngsters in the squad.
Mm. Yeah, and actually they
It's
did
crazy.
well. You know,
One of the best
Borthwick,
positional
Varela.
coaches. One of the best positional coaches in world football is he teaches you how to play the position. And it's the one I regret. I really regret. And the Glazers, that's why I hate the Glazers. Because they got him third, fourth choice players. But we never saw it. But
do you think he will get a chance? Obi Martin, do you think he will get a chance?
Maybe. I mean, Fabrizio came with a statement saying that he was going to be with intention to be played as a first team player and to be involved.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
So that's what I'm hearing through the grapevine. And I'm hearing it from people here that he was going to be taken out. But yeah, let me just see this. Let me just see this tweet.
Nothing seems to be straightforward at Manchester United. Everybody makes good points, but there's a contradiction with a lot of points. Not a contradiction, a difference of how we see things, and then there's a middle ground. I mean, why wouldn't you play Chido Obi Martin? Give him a go in this game. Give him half an hour. But then Nuruddin, you think, put him in, burn him up, horrendous experience. It's just nothing straightforward with us.
No, it's never. Yeah, Thwaite is the best player I've seen in that youth team. Thwaite. He is, I swear to God, guys.
Paul Scholes.
He reminds me of Paul Scholes. I cannot lie.
Thwaite.
Yeah. I went to watch him live a month and a bit ago. I forgot to tell you that. But I went to watch the youth team play at Lee Sports Village. And he was so sublime.
Good night, Jamie.
You have a new sub. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Really, really.
People, get over there now, please. As soon as we hang up, go over there. Ibrahimov is good. Shirky, the Italian guy, or the Welsh guy, Barreteri, something like that. I can never pronounce his name properly. But he's also good. But the best player, the footballer, the pure footballer, and he's really good on the tackle as well. He's Scholesy, but imagine Scholesy being brilliant in the tackle. Scholesy was a horrendous tackler. He is really good, but he just needs to grow, fill out a little bit, and then get into it. I mean, he looks small, but to me, like, size should never matter when you got the technical abilities. His touches on the ball, the way he plays it off, gets it. Jarvis, you will love him. He's got that switch from left to, from the center to the left, from the center to the right. It's so effortless for him. Just to go bam, bam, 35 yards, 40 yards, boom, somebody's toe. And he likes playing direct football. So if he gets it on the half turn in his own half, boom, breaks the lines. Oh, great. Yeah. Great.
Sounds like a bowler. I will check him out.
He's unbelievable, Jarvis. I swear to God. Watching him live, I was like, I know you don't. I know you hate hyping up those young guys. So coming from you, Nuruddin, it means a lot. I think he will go places. Hopefully. Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. But people, big up to everybody. Please, I beg you, we're gonna leave you now. Please go on, subscribe to this channel. Right? And I just want to say to Sean, big up to Sean, make sure you check him out at Sean Thomas on Twitter. And his podcast is Geopolitical Podcast, How We See Things. So we can check that out, all podcast providers. Jarvis Cocker on Twitter, Bowley77. Bombay, you never see him anywhere on any social media. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He pretends he's a con man on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Not messing about.
He does all the stuff on Facebook. He was asking me to buy some Chinese stuff the other day or whatever.
You're chatting shit. I don't.
Well, one time you did. I don't remember what happened, but one time you did. He got hacked. He's never been on there ever again.
Dangerous, man.
And like I said, please go and subscribe to the channel here. We say free Palestine, free Lebanon, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Netanyahu, the bastards.
Yeah.
Fuck imperialism, fuck colonizers. Stand with all the indigenous people, regardless where they are in the world. Always stand with the oppressed. Free Palestine, free Lebanon, free the Congo, free Sudan, free Tigray, free Ogaden, free everywhere where the people are oppressed. And
amen.
Fuck the Glazers. Fuck killing us. And if you want to be down with them,
F you too.
There you go. Free Palestine, F Zionism, free Palestine. And you know what? F the GCSEs. No GCSE, no exams will ever define who you are. And we'll wish you a happy birthday for Friday. And hopefully we'll see you in the chat after the game. And I hope for you they win. Sheikh Arian. It's his 17th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might be the 17th or the 18th. I think it's the 17th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. Sheikh Arian. So we're wishing you an amazing day. I hope you have a fantastic one. I can only imagine you're going to go out for some lovely food in lovely Bradford. And I'm jealous. Not 18, you're 17, yeah. No, it's 18th. Wow. Boom. You're a man now, mate.
Wow.
Legally, you can do it. Oh, now the world is yours, Sheikh Arian. Yeah. Big up, man. Big up. 18. Wow. Remember when you were 18? I had a big birthday party. Bombay will tell you. Big birthday party.
Great night.
500, really 600, and 4 of us had a joint birthday party, and about 500-600 people turned up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a rave.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Anyway, Jarvis, lovely. Hopefully, if I'm on my way cycling, I might jump on, but I won't be able to see you because I'll be cycling back. But I'll jump on and I'll give you and I'll jump on. So send me the link.
Yeah,
the game
I will.
You the link. Yeah,
cool.
Big up. Love.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Take care. Good night.